What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been some time since I have shot a video in a bee yard, and I'm definitely not happy with how much I've been able to come out here to this apiary this summer, but I've had lots of other things keeping me busy, namely getting married in just a couple of weeks. But I'm out here in Maryland checking on the two hives that overwintered. And I just did some weed whacking to kind of clean up this bee yard. But long story short, the White House Hive survived the winter. So we have some bees cruising around by the entrance. That is very exciting. Stoked about that. The bad news, the second hive did not survive the winter. So we'll take a look inside and see if we can determine what may have caused that. My guess is Varroa. But anyways, glad to be back, and let's look at some bees. Let's see what we can find inside. Wow, okay. So we got bees outside the divider boards. That's fine. They don't quite go all the way to the bottom. Okay. A couple ants over here. Saw that last year. And then some remnants of sugar that I sprinkled in the late fall to possibly help them overwinter. Just a reminder, these divider boards are also frame feeders, so you can pour sugar water down through these slots, and the bees can kind of access it from inside. So I'm gonna take a little gander and see what we can see. So I just got this end feeder divider board out, and there's a little bit of honeycomb on it, but looking in, it looks like they have got quite a bit of honey packed into this outer frame. So I'm curious to see what the inner frames look like and when we'll start seeing some eggs. But first one out, let's keep going. So they've built out, this was half a frame from the nuke, and then one of my frames. Oh, this is probably 25 pounds of honey, 20 pounds of honey. I mean, it's beefy, double frame thick, full of it. So I'm gonna try and not move this one a whole lot. That is a lot of weight, a lot of weight, a lot of weight. All right, so I had another honey frame, but this is the first one that I'm seeing some eggs or some brood. Really cool how much propolis there is in this hive. Just trying to scrape some out here and in here. But I get a lot of questions about if bees will seal the joint between the frames shut with propolis. And I actually have a video about that, which shows that it's just as easy as like scoring it with a knife before breaking them apart. But hopefully I'll be able to do another video about that during the next honey harvest. Wow, but look at all that. Look at all that honey, beautiful. So I am seeing a decent amount of these queen cups. See right there, and queen cells. Big like peanut shaped objects on the side of the frame. I'm also not seeing a lot of brood. We've got some capped. It's very scattered though, and the eggs are kind of few and far between. So I've seen a decent number of these queen cells. So maybe the queen here is just kind of failing. But I don't know, I'm gonna keep looking for her. But otherwise, I would say this hive has a lot of honey, but not very many eggs. So I'm gonna keep exploring. Check this out, it's totally wild. I pulled out the other divider board. It's almost entirely drone bees, male bees. My guess is because they're pushed to the outside of the hive by the females, because these male bees don't do any work. They just kind of eat honey and lays around. So that's too funny. They're all just, they'll just push to the edge. So we have a little bit of a crowd who's gathered outside. So I pulled just a single frame, which is beautifully capped and ready to harvest. So I'm gonna cut that up and serve it out to everyone out there. This is impossible to do one-handed, but give it our best shot. Oh, it just pins them yet. Incredible. I'm gonna go put this outside. So this is the hive that died, the bee box. And if you look inside, there's a lot of this. Looks like there are a lot of little hive beetles, small hive beetles in there. Really just empty comb and a lot of dead bees at the bottom of this hive. Sad to see, especially compared to the previous one. But good pollen, no real honey. So many small hive beetles actually. All of these cells are filled with them. So that could be one of the major concerns. Yeah, it's pretty sad. This hive's just fully empty. I mean, there's a little bit of pollen, but no honey, no bees. Not a whole lot of pests either. So, well, besides the small hive beetles, I think I'm gonna find a solution for those. But otherwise, I'm gonna pull out any of the comb that can be saved from this hive, but really not much to do here. That's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so I've gone through both hives, checked them out. White House Hive is doing great. The other one, the bee box, not quite as much. But I'm very encouraged by the overwintering of this White House Hive, and just love that we still have a colony going here in the summer. And again, like, I haven't checked on it this entire time, which was not great. I definitely wanted to be out here before this, middle of summer really. But anyways, very encouraging. And I also think we're coming up on a bee election campaign, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear of a speech pretty soon. But until then, I will see you next time. Happy beekeeping. So I'm thinking the best thing for you ladies is And if I go on the jury, I think I can convince them to vote for you.
Here's my only